Today's an exciting day as Haute Time in their corporate offices in Manhattan on Green Street is with Harris, the Chief Communications Officer directly from Geneva, Switzerland, showing us the new MB&F 5 watch. Harris, first of all, welcome to New York.
Thank you very much.
And I know you're very, very busy, so I really appreciate you taking the time to give us a look at the watches. It's gotten a lot of press.
Thank you for your time. And yeah, we've been getting some reasonable press, I suppose.
But a lot of people look at the pictures and be like, what is this crazy thing? So I'd rather you kind of tell us, and show us all the dimensions of the watch and a little about the piece and,
Sure.
and so forth. So tell us a little about the MB&F 5 and a little about all the secret functions of the piece.
Okay. Well, like all our machines, we start from an idea. We don't start from the movement like most brands. We don't start from engineering. We start from a powerful, simple idea. In this case, it's all the dreams we had from the 1970s, meaning first steps on the moon, supersonic flights, an incredible era not back in the 1970s, and in particular one thing, the beginning of supercars. Supercars, which as you can see have inspired the case of HM5. But the first thing is, the styling of the case, which reminds us at least of the Lamborghini Miuras, the Lancia Stratos, the Lotus Esprit, and a number of other supercars from the 1970s.
What's this in the back, if you don't mind?
That's the winding crown and to set the time. So it looks a bit like the
cool.
exhaust port of an automobile, but it is the winding crown. So to wind the watch, you can either do that, or if you need to set the time, just pull the crown out and you get jumping hours and minutes. And as you see, when those minutes flip
this
through,
is how you tell the time? This is...
Exactly. This is the dial, if you like. Even though it's not a dial, I'll explain that in a second as well. It's actually the reflection of a dial. The dials themselves are in the movement, in the case. Oh,
very cool.
And that sapphire crystal prism will lift the image of those dials, bend it 90 degrees, and magnify it 20%. So what you're seeing there is really an optical illusion, if you like.
Interesting.
The reflection of the dials down inside the movement.
Interesting.
And as I said, it's a jumping hour, so as the minutes hit, I don't see what I'm doing here, but as those minutes turn, the hour will jump accordingly. Now, the other interesting thing about this watch is the construction of the case. It's not a classic case in the sense that there's a movement and then a round case around it and that's it. It's a dual construction, meaning inside what you see here, there is a second layer, a second compartment, like the protection cage in a Formula One car. That internal compartment houses the movement itself, and this is just bodywork around it. Now when I open those flaps, like what I showed before, boom, light actually comes in through those flaps, hits those two discs I was talking about before, and lights up the numbers you were looking at before with the hours and minutes. What that also means is that, for example, if I open the flaps there and you put this in water, it is a waterproof watch, water can get in there. Mm-hmm. That's not a problem because there is that internal compartment keeping the movement safe. But it does mean that water will get in between the external bodywork and that internal compartment. To drain the water back out, you get these two little exhaust ports on the left and the right.
Oh,
so
yeah,
those two little holes.
Right there.
Yeah, if you put this in water, you'll see water.
So the water goes in and out.
Exactly.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, that's a nice little touch. Probably the first watch case
I've never
with
seen anything
exhaust ports.
So if you don't mind, take off your legacy.
Sure.
Just beautiful artwork.
Thank you. Yeah, you get the flying balance wheel, you get the vertical power reserve down at 6 o'clock, the dual time zones, and so on.
And I want to see how the watch would wear, and you're wearing a suit.
Absolutely.
Without the tie, but a suit. So I'd love to see how the watch looks with the suit.
Exactly. It's a driver's watch in the sense that when I'm wearing it, and
okay, perfect.
the time will look straight at me. I don't need to flip my wrist to see the time. It's just looking straight on. So if I'm holding my steering wheel in my supercar, I don't need
You'll be able to tell the time.
Exactly. Hours and minutes, as we were saying.
And let's take a look at the wrist. Looks really cool on the wrist. I mean, it's definitely people will ask you, what is that on your wrist?
Yep, absolutely.
How many of these watches did you guys make?
This first edition, 2012 edition, launched now in December, is 66 pieces only. And the external bodywork is in zirconium, a metal a bit like titanium, very light, very durable. The interesting thing about the construction of the case is that we can actually change the bodywork pretty easily. So expect in the years ahead the same chassis, if you like, the same internal compartment, but different bodywork around that compartment. Mm-hmm. Meaning potentially different metals, different colors, different materials. Who knows? Maybe a fiberglass option or something. or even different shapes. Why not?
Tell me a little about the back of the watch. Anything special about the back of the piece?
Actually, yes, a very important part in the sense that if you look at the piece like this, you don't necessarily know, but it is, of course, a mechanical timepiece. So it's driven by an automatic movement. That's our signature battle axe rotor. So when you wear the watch and you flip it around, if this will work, there you go. The rotor winds it up, and as long as you keep wearing the watch, it'll keep nicely wound and give you those 48 hours of power reserve. It's a Girard-Perregaux base movement. 3300 is the name of the movement, and we've modified it with Jean-François Maujon from Chronode to allow the jumping hours and minutes.
And what's the price point of this piece?
The price point is $63,000 US plus tax.
Are you going to make them in like gold or rose gold, or
could very well happen next year?
So if it's successful, you'll be adding more and more features.
Exactly.
Well, Harris, I really appreciate the opportunity. I mean, everyone's seen the press about the watch, but to be quite frank with you, I really give you I appreciate you giving us an opportunity to feel it, touch it, and get to know a little more about it.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.